Good morning. Happy Wednesday. So happy to be hopping on to chat with you guys this last Wednesday of the month. So has anybody on here read The Slight Edge? The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. It's white and blue. It looks like this. Anybody read this? All right, everybody write this down. Everybody needs to read this. This is my third time reading it. So if that tells you anything, you should read it. Okay. So I read this 2 other times. I think actually I read it 1 other time and I listened to it on audio the second time. The third time I'm actually reading it. So, and I'm telling you, it's like I've never read this book in my entire life. Okay. And that's what happens. Okay. I know a lot of times, a lot of times, we see a movie or we read a book and then like the second time we're like, oh, I didn't hear that the first time. I didn't see that the first time. And that's for a couple different reasons, right? Distractions, but also where like your growth is, your leadership growth, your personal growth, wherever you are in that journey and what you're willing to hear or what you're focusing on expands, right? So when you're reading something or watching something and you're focusing on these things, that's the stuff that's going to stick out, right? I feel like this is why I tell you guys all the time, I can literally watch any TV show, documentary, movie, and I can immediately parallel it to my business because I am always in like a business mindset, right? So that's what I focus on. So that's what expands. I'm like, what can I learn from this? How is this going to be useful to me in my life and my business? And how can this make me better? So reading this book now, I'm in the second chapter. I just started it again. And I'm like, I feel like I never freaking read this book ever in my life, which is so weird being only 2 chapters in. So, I want to talk to you about it because I've just had in the last couple days, like I've been reading I just read the last 2 nights a chapter before bed, right? Because also side note, busy lives, and for me, my excuse is to be a mom. I used to love to read. I would sit down and read at night, and Eric would sit on the couch and play on his phone, and I would just read chapter after chapter after. That does not happen anymore. I don't know when I'm going to be able to read a book again, but um so for me to be like, I have to do this much and this, like I do 1 chapter a night. If I have time and I feel like reading more, great. But I will tell you what, I sit down with 1 chapter, I highlight, I make notes, and when the chapter's done, I just close the book and put it down. Like, because it just relieves so much pressure off myself of like, I'm never going to be able to do this. So I don't even know how many chapters are in this book, but let's see. Let's see, because I'm going to make this point here. Um, 15, 17 or 18. Okay, so let's just call it 20. If I read 1 chapter a night, that's 20 days, you guys. That's way faster than I would ever read any book that I put really hard limitations on myself right now in this stage of life. So like I'll just take 20 days and read this book, okay? So that's a little extra piece there, like take the pressure off of yourself, okay? So the book really overall is about like there is not massive overnight success. It's not a thing. Look out back, buddy. The combine's out back. Hey, hey, look, Henry. Okay, whatever. Um, it's not overnight success. Okay. It is about mastering small, consistent actions that will compound over time. That is what the book is about. And how so many times, like we say this and we hear this, that way, that we see somebody doing amazing things and we're just like, oh my gosh, like, what did they do? What did they say? Like, it just out of nowhere. And it's not ever the case. It is small, consistent actions that compound over time. A quote I see says in the book I want to share. Simple daily disciplines, little productive actions, repeated consistently over time add up to the difference between failure and success. So I'm going to ruin what the slight edge is a little bit, but even if you make it into the second chapter, you're going to figure it out. So here we go. The slight edge is, I'm going to read it directly from the book. So I say it 1000% right. Okay. The slight edge is your philosophy. Okay. And this is not some like Aristotle philosophy where it's like, all this crazy stuff. It is what you know, how you hold it, and how it affects what you do. how you think about simple, everyday things. It's not just in your business. It's not just in Plexus. It's not just in one thing. It is your philosophy on life. What you know, how you hold it, and how it affects what you do in every area of your life. So every action is either going to move you forward or move you forward towards success or backwards towards failure. Everything you do. Can you not drink my Restore? Thank you. Give it to me. So the problem is the effects of what you're doing are invisible at first. Okay. And think about this in your business. You're sending messages, you're doing personal growth, and you're like, I'm not seeing anything. Okay. You're trying to lose weight. This is why diets don't work. And he talks about this in the book. This is why diets don't work. You start, hold on. Okay. Sorry. Parenting. So you start your diet, you start your messaging, you start doing all of these things, right? You're not seeing the fruit. It's invisible at first. The results are going to show up later after your consistent effort. It would be wonderful. I'm sorry, he's crying. Think about it. It would be really nice if we could send messages, we could send a voice message, we could send an invite, and people are like, yes, sign me up. And yes, I'm going to go sign up 10 people. And yes, those 10 people are going to sign up. No, it takes the consistent effort. Okay. The results are going to show up later. Same thing with your diet. Same thing with your exercise. Okay. Getting the gym membership is not going to give you the 6-pack as much as I wish it did. Okay. Deciding I'm going to eat clean for a week and then go back to my old ways. Like, no, like it's not going to work. It is the consistent effort. The results will show up later. So, all right, drinking your pink drink, doing your daily IPAs, reading 10 minutes a day. It's easy to do, but it's also really easy not to do. The simplest IPA, taking your supplements. So simple. Yet we have a power in realizing that the choice you make about today matters even when no one sees it. Even when you're like, I'm not going to get any results from taking my supplements today. Like, I am not going to take this MetaBurn and shed off 5 pounds of fat. Like, it ain't going to happen. So why am I going to do it? Right? It's the choice. It's like, no, I've been using these products consistently for 60 days. And these are the things I'm starting to see, right? But you have to take the supplements in your kitchen, in your bathroom by yourself where no one knows. But then when you finally do those like before and after pictures 3 months in, you're like, well, dang, everybody look at this. And they're like, oh, well, what did you do? Yeah, I took this stuff for 60 days, for 90 days. You know what I mean? So parallel this to your business. It is the philosophy or the foundation of how you think, what you do in every area of your life. How you view your time, how you view your effort, how you view your consistency will determine your habits. He puts this awesome little picture in the book. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay. Your philosophy creates your attitudes, your actions, your results. That creates your life. Think about that. Your philosophy on how you view everything. What you know, how you hold it, and how it affects what you do affects your attitude, affects your actions, affects your results. That in turn gives you your life. That affects your life. Think about our emotions, okay? I highlighted this because I was like, your philosophies drives your attitudes and your feelings, which drives your actions. Think about your emotions, okay? Like how they come and how they go. if we made decisions and fueled our actions off of our emotions, how is that working? And some of us are doing this in our business. So, like, I'm not calling anybody out, but think about that. Think about what's happening to your business. You're letting your emotions drive the bus. What happens if I let my toddler's emotions drive our day? Okay, you all just heard him have a meltdown. I don't even know what it was over. Okay. Like, what if our emotions, what's the thing? So we're going to change this like little graph that I've been reading you. Okay. We're going to take philosophy out. Okay. It's not philosophy. It's not the big picture. It's your emotions. Your emotions your emotions create your attitude. Your emotions create your actions. Your emotions create your results, which are then going to create your life. How do we think that's going to go? Not very well for any of us. You cannot run a business. You cannot make business decisions. And I'm talking specifically about business because that's what we're here for. Off of emotions. And y'all, that's what we do. Right? Because we make decisions based on things that feel good or don't feel good. That's an emotion. Feeling good is an emotion. I feel good. I feel happy. I feel sad. It makes me frustrated. Gives me joy. Like, these are emotions. We cannot make decisions based off of emotions. Because if something is uncomfortable and makes us feel sad and we steer away from that, if that was the thing that had to happen or had to move the needle forward and you had to go live on your story or you had to speak on the Zoom or you had to send that message that makes Jennifer want to barf, like, that doesn't feel good. She's not going to do it. She's not going to see the growth. So the philosophy is the thing that is going to drive our attitude, drive our results, drive our actions. That's going to create the life or the business. The philosophy is the slight edge. So the mindset contrast, okay? Instant gratification versus long-term vision. Most people quit because they're not seeing results fast enough. That's just what it is. Everybody knows that, right? I'm going to the gym 3 days a week. I don't have a six pack. I haven't lost 5 pounds. I'm in the GLP-1 challenge and I haven't lost 20 pounds in 18 days. I'm going to quit. Right? So they don't see it fast enough. The slight edge thinker, the good, positive philosophy thinker understands the curve that results are coming. They're just not visible yet. Victim mindset versus owning an ownership mindset. Victim says, this is not working. Ownership says, I'm planting seeds and I know the harvest is going to come. All or nothing. Okay. I can be super guilty of this. All or nothing. I'm all in for 60 days, hustling, bleeding. I don't care. And then it's like, what happened to you? Not sure. I'm tired. Right. Success does not come from big bursts of effort. It comes from small actions done over and over again. And the truth of that is it's boring. And we don't like boring because boring evokes a negative feeling for us, right? You're a kid in summertime. Go back to when you were a kid, right? Your mom's like, what are you doing? You're like, I'm bored. You have a house, you have a TV, you have a house full of toys, you've got outside. I'm bored. I don't like being bored. So I stay away from being bored. So as soon as I start to get bored in my business, doing the boring things of IPA every single day, my 10 minutes of growth, my workouts, eating clean, because that's not fun. That takes discipline. I'm bored. I don't want to do it. Emotions say, stop. This is not feeling good. Philosophy says, these are the small actions I need to make progress. So I know that sharing your story for the 50th time on Facebook and in your story and doing your IPAs and following up with the same people is not, I know it does not feel very powerful and it's not very fun. You don't feel like you're doing much, but over time it's going to compound. The difference between leaders who are growing silently, quietly in the dark of their closet and those who burn out waiting for overnight success, that's the difference, the slight edge, their philosophy on what they're doing. So let's think about this in our business. Okay. Everybody on here, absolutely, me knowing your story or not, you've had those like super big bursts where you're going hard. You're going hard, blood, sweat, and tears. You're all in. You can't even see straight. And then you get tired and you burn out and you're like, it didn't work. I lost it. My retention wasn't good, or we didn't do the ads I thought we would, or I missed my goal. I didn't, it didn't happen. And you're tired and it doesn't feel good. So why would I do it again? Because that didn't feel good. This is me, you guys. Like, I do not like the thought of failure, the feel of failure. I don't like it. So I'm gonna stay away from it. That's why I have a problem setting goals, because if I don't set a goal, it doesn't hurt when I don't hit it. Like major issues here. So think about ourselves showing up in our business and our teams. We look at our teams. You have a team of, let's say, 250 points. Okay. You're senior gold. You becoming consistent, whether it's with your products or with your IPA or showing up on calls or your personal growth, you're inconsistent. Can you expect your team to stay consistent? No. Not as a leader, you can't. If you're just a product user and you're just in Plexus, like, does it really matter if you're not consistent? It's just yourself, right? Like, but as leaders, as business men and women, we have to set the standard. We have to have the slight edge. We have to have that philosophy of, how I look at things, how I hold, what do I know? How do I hold it? How do I view every aspect of my life? That is where as the leader, you have to figure that out. And this is why we could all sit in front of Eric Worre, Ed Milet, Trisha Rieger, Amber Miller, Alita, you name it. Your favorite motivational speaker, your favorite diamond, they know it's Bible. What they say is Bible. It's gonna work. We could all sit with them for 3 hours. They could literally show us the map on how to go diamond. Every message, every detail, every hour, every play. And there's some of us, most of us, would walk out of the room or get off of the Zoom. And by the time we put the computer away or got in our car, we have already changed the story. We've already changed the messages. We've already forgot what they said. We've created a new plan. Why? Our philosophy. This is why every person that reads this book does not have $1 million business. Because it doesn't matter what you hear. Careful, buddy. It doesn't matter what you hear, what you read. If you do not have the philosophy, you will not do it. You won't do the little things consistently. You'll stop because you're not seeing the fruit. You don't have the positive outlook on everything. It's the philosophy that keeps people from getting the success. He will talk about in the very beginning of the book. There's a point in his life where he was a beach bum. Like, he literally lived in Florida on the beach as a bum, like enough money to live. He was a golf caddy, like living it up, no worries. Like, some of us are like, this sounds so great in the sun, hanging out, right? He was that person. He also packed up, moved all the way across the country, and started like $4 million businesses. He said the difference, I'm the same person. He said, it's me. He said, and we all have those people. We are all a beach bum and we are all millionaires. It is all based on your philosophy and what you're going to do with it. What is your philosophy? Do you even know your philosophy? What you do with information, how you hold it, how you view things. He said, I'm the same person. The only thing that became very clear to me was the slight edge. That is the ingredient to success. The first ingredient is having that slight edge, is knowing your philosophy. So, for the week, choose one slight edge behavior for your health and one for your business. Commit to it daily, even when it seems small or unseen. So these are the things that you're not going to get recognition for. These are the things that seem minute and stupid and maybe a waste of time. So it could be like 15 minutes of personal growth reading every single day. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you do that every day for 5 days, 7 days, That's a lot. 3 new reach outs. If you did 3 new reach outs for 7 days, that's 21 new conversations you've started. The truth is, you already have the slight edge. Every day you're using it. The question is, which direction is it taking you? What are you doing with that slight edge? Are you going forward because you're like, I am using this to move the needle forward. I am committing to doing these small things every single day. Or are you taking the slight edge, the negative philosophy, the other way, and you're just falling off? So what beliefs do you need to shift in your business? What thoughts do you need to change? What part of that philosophy is not strong for you? What is that? And then are you living by the slight edge every day? Is everything you're doing filtering through this? I'm just reading your message, Nicole. I've been asking myself, am I afraid or am I lazy? You're not lazy. I'll tell you that right now. You're not lazy. You're afraid. And this is where we have to evaluate, because I do this too. I'll tell you guys, this is like super vulnerable. I, for whatever reason, have this somewhere in my plexus journey, and I probably should go to therapy to figure it out to help myself. When someone wants to sign up, I almost get a dreadful feeling first. To the point where if they message me and I know, like, it's Sarah and she's like, hey, I wanna place an order and start Plexus, I literally will not answer right away. Because I have to get my head right. Because it's almost this, I've created this stigma of like, oh, this is gonna be so much. And I love my job. But there's certain parts of it that have become negative because of scenarios in my business, like people leaving, people not doing the work, me having to do it for them, me pick up for other people that aren't doing work, me to cover for other people, me like I'm like, this is just going to create more. Yes, even at Sapphire. It is like, is this going to, and I'm not one to shy away from work. I love work. I no problem. But there is that thing where it's like, I need to get my head straight. I need to make sure that like my philosophy around this is right before I make any decisions or make any moves. Because the grand scheme of things, I want my business to grow and I want it to move forward. So everything I do needs to do that. Every decision I make is either going to move my business forward or it's going to move it backwards. So the days that you don't want to work, like you don't want to show up, you don't want to work, like you get a choice right there. And that's the hard stuff, guys. This is like, this book's going to get you deep. Like, that's the hard stuff. This is why this book right here, this is why people will tell you what they think they want. I want this, I want that, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then guess what happens? They don't get it because they don't have the slight edge. They won't do it consistently long enough. They do short little bursts and they're like, I'm so proud of myself. I sent 50 messages in 3 days. And then the next 10 days, they're like, yeah, I got one out. I'm like, no. The sticky, boring, annoying 3 to 5 people a day IPA is where it is at. Because we can't make decisions on emotions. Think about your life. Think about just a whole day, like just Henry. I mean, he's a perfect example. If I just let his emotions dictate the rest of my day, do you think that what I do is going to move my business forward? No. We'll be lucky to make it out of the living room. Right? So like the philosophy is where the decisions are coming from, not my emotions. So I want to challenge you guys. 1, get the book. Okay? Get the book. Listen to the book, read the book. I like to read. I like to hold it. I like to highlight. I like to write down things. So I write all in all of them. Get the book. Also this week, focus on the slight edge. Pick something. Pick something. Choose a slight edge behavior that you are going to do every single day, little by little, in your business or in your health, in your workout routine. Something. All right. I love you guys. Finish strong. Okay. Bust your butts today and tomorrow. Friday's going to be weird, especially after 3 p.m. because everybody's going to be trick-or-treating, Halloween party, all of the nonsense, right? So don't wait until Friday afternoon to be like, I should really start getting into this, because no one's going to answer you. Okay. That's going to be a November problem. So today and tomorrow, buckle down, get your stuff done. I love you. Have a great day.